The iPhone 14 isn't even out yet, and we already have some iPhone 15 leaks. And if you already have an Apple Watch, you have to check out BandWerk's new art line collection. They feature art by the world-famous Jean-Michel Basquiat, with 3 pieces to choose from: the panel of experts for a darker vibe, the horn players for a more stylish vibe, and my favorite, the beat bop for the super clean white look. Check out BandWerk by using the link below. And now, back to the video. Okay, the biggest iPhone 15 leak comes from Ming-Chi Kuo, who claims that the 2023 iPhone 15 will finally drop Lightning in favor of USB-C. But okay, I know what you're all thinking. How likely is this to actually happen? As we've been hearing about Apple supposedly switch to USB-C for years now. Well, I do think that this is finally going to happen now, as it's not just Ming-Chi Kuo saying this, but Mark Gurman as well. He's recently reported that Apple is currently testing USB-C iPhones, as well as an adapter so that you could use your Lightning accessories with a USB Type-C iPhone. An adapter that up until now has never really existed. But okay, why now? Especially when we've heard rumors that Apple was considering dropping the port in favor of just MagSafe charging. Phil Schiller has actually said back in 2012 when they introduced the Lightning connector that it was the connector for the next decade.
So now we have Thunderbolt and Lightning in our connector strategy. This connector is a modern connector for the next decade.
But I do think that the main reason for Apple finally switching is increased pressure from the European Union. They've recently voted for new legislation that would require all electronic devices sold in Europe to feature a USB-C port, which would of course leave Apple with no other option than to adopt USB-C. The EU has previously discussed forcing all smartphone chargers sold in the EU to be USB-C chargers, which Apple did comply to in 2019 when they introduced a USB-C charger with the iPhone 11. However, they were cheeky, as the other end of the cable was still Lightning. Apple keeps on saying that they're a strong advocate for the environment, yet keeping Lightning was the most anti-environmental decision that they could have ever made. Having one cable and one charger to charge all of our devices is the dream, and Apple is the only tech company that hasn't implemented this yet, which is really weird considering that they were one of the companies who kickstarted USB-C in the first place. Well, the main reason for Apple keeping Lightning for so long is the billions in royalties that they have been making from the MFI program, which would have been zero should they had switched to USB-C's open standard. And USB-C is pretty much on everything now, from digital cameras to gaming consoles to even much cheaper things such as shavers and candle lighters. I mean, even McDonald's now has USB-C ports in some of their restaurants. The iPhone will be very late to the party, and frustratingly, Apple is only making this change because they are being forced to do so. But okay, what other advantages would a switch to USB Type-C bring us, aside from the obvious of having one cable for everything? I think the main one would be faster transfer speeds. I do love the quality that ProRes Video offers on the iPhone, but I just don't use it as Lightning is still USB 2.0, and it just takes an eternity to transfer the massive ProRes files onto my computer. USB-C would solve this issue. And of course that Apple could take things even further and include Thunderbolt support on the Pro models of the iPhone, just like they've done with the iPad for some ridiculous 40 gigabit per second transfer speeds, which is almost 10 times higher than what we have now. The second big advantage is that it's not just the iPhone that would switch, but all the other Apple accessories too, which is something that Ming-Chi Kuo has also stated. This includes Mac accessories like the Magic Keyboard, the trackpad, and the mouse. There's also the AirPods cases, the AirPods Max, and the smart battery case. Which means that you should be able to just connect a USB-C cable from your iPhone to your AirPods or even to your Apple Watch in order for you to charge them, essentially turning your iPhone into an external battery pack, as unlike Lightning, USB-C can power both ways. This sounds awesome, but does this mean that Apple will have to relaunch the upcoming AirPods Pro 2 and the recently launched Magic Keyboard and trackpad again with USB Type-C? Probably. Or they could just launch the AirPods Pro 2 straight with USB Type-C, even though that would kind of confirm the fact that a 15 would indeed come with USB Type-C. By the way, we are working on a new video with the latest AirPods Pro 2 leaks, so make sure to subscribe to see it as soon as it's out. One thing to remember here is that Apple is still seeing the future as portless, and that this USB Type-C transition will only be a temporary one until Apple has a version of MagSafe that can not only charge an iPhone as fast as USB Type-C can, but one that can also deliver data. And once MagSafe adoption matures, they would just adopt MagSafe as the Apple-specific charging solution. The next iPad Pro is rumored to come with MagSafe, and Apple has also updated the AirPods Pro with a MagSafe case as well. And I'm pretty sure that we'll get to see more MagSafe Apple products in the future too, especially since Apple can make some huge profits from its proprietary design, just like with Lightning. Maybe at some point, everything that Apple sells would be MagSafe, including the Apple Watch and their Magic Keyboard and Magic Mouse. But okay, aside from a switch to USB Type-C, what else do we know about the iPhone 15? Well, according to Russ Young, both the 15 and the 15 Pro would feature the new pill-plus-hole shaped cutouts that the iPhone 14 Pro would be getting. So we would once again have a unified lineup with the same design across the Pro and the non-Pro models. Then, in 2024, the Pro models are said to be getting an under-the-display Face ID plus hole for the front-facing camera, so essentially an Android-style punch hole but with Face ID under the display. In 2025, so 3 years from now, is when the non-Pros would be getting this too, and then 2026, with the iPhone 18, is finally when we'll have no more cutout at all, and everything would be under the display. I know, we're looking quite a bit far into the future here, but these are the current rumors. I would be really curious to see if we end up getting 120Hz on the non-Pro models next year. Probably not, as they do need some exclusive Pro features to consider them, Pro phones. But when you consider that plenty of $200 to $400 phones today have 90Hz displays, it makes you wonder why Apple won't add it to an $800 phone. Also, with the iPhone 13 Pros being 120Hz in 2021, will the regular 14's 60Hz display seem like a really bad deal compared to a lower priced 13 Pro in 2022? So right now, a renewed 12 Pro on Amazon is already £546. So imagine what the 13 Pro could drop at the end of the year. Now, there is one more leaked iPhone 15 feature, which I think might just be the best one yet, and that is the periscope camera module. The Alec has just reported that Apple has struck a deal with a new supplier of telephoto lens components, and that they would start building an exclusive production line for telephoto camera modules for the 2023 iPhones. We have been hearing rumors that Apple has been interested in a periscope camera module since 2020, but the problem has always been that whatever approach Apple tried to take, it would clash with the Samsung-owned patents, which they definitely wanted to avoid. Which means that Apple has now managed to develop a telephoto module in a way that does not infringe on Samsung's patents. I'm really curious to see how they've done it. But I'm even more curious to see the actual zoom performance. Current leaks are pointing towards up to a 10x optical zoom, which would match Samsung's own 10x module on the S22 Ultra. However, by the time Apple launches the iPhone 15 Pro next year, Samsung might bump their zoom module to 12x on the S23 Ultra, one-upping Apple. To be honest, all I want here is something that matches Samsung's current 10x module. I'm not even asking for anything more. Right now, I'm using both an iPhone 13 Pro and an S22 Ultra, but whenever I go on holiday or anywhere really outside, I prefer to take my S22 because of that incredible zoom range that the iPhone simply cannot match. Even some other manufacturers like Xiaomi, Oppo, and Huawei, they've all used periscope module in the past with some great results. I do find it odd how Apple's always a couple of years behind the competition, but I am happy that they're finally adding it, just like with USB Type-C. So let me know, what do you guys think? Are you happy with the iPhone 15 changes and the direction that Apple is heading towards? And if you want to see more iPhone tips and tricks, then check out our new ZONEofTECH Shorts channel, and also stay tuned for more Apple leaks and rumors. I'm Daniel, this is ZONEofTECH, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.